Hey everybody, J. Scott Williamson, host of Cinema Apocalypse. You may notice a change in scenery here. You know, usually I got the screen with flames behind me and stuff like that, but like everything else, our special effects budget wore out. So we're kind of doing this unplugged thing down here in my basement, and considering that's where most cable access shows are filmed anyway, it's not a big deal, so we're just going to go with it. But we still got our usual clips and then me spouting off afterwards, so let's roll them.
Come, boys and girls, it's time to continue on. Stay close together.
Heinrich.
Children, don't go wandering off. Jonathan, get over here and take that out of your mouth.
It had to be my best side.
It's nothing, Bruno.
Anyone
really.
got a mirror?
You poor baby. You
I'm
want
telling
a kiss
you that
to make it
hurts,
better?
Lula.
Okay, before I start the review on the church, I want to introduce my buddy Alex. I met him at Convergence, our yearly film festival thing, and I met him because he came up to point out to me that my flyers, which have an image from Suspiria on them, that Suspiria was spelled wrong because my wife 2 years in a row spelled it wrong on the flyer, and he came up and he's like, you know, you spelled that wrong, and I'm like, dude, that right there is a soulmate. And not like in a romantic way, but more in a, hey, here's another horror fan that knows how Suspiria is spelled and loves the movie and loves the soundtrack. So this is my new go-to guy for any soundtrack questions I have. And that's why we picked the church at first, because I'm like, who does the soundtrack for this?
Dude, Goblin, Keith Emerson. Double bill. Cannot go wrong with these two guys together.
And so we're watching this thing, and like the keyboards start up, and he's like, hey, keyboards, and then he like does his little keyboard thing. What's that noise you were doing when we were doing this? Exactly. It's like, okay, there's Keith Emerson, and then it was like, and then all of a sudden the Goblin like crescendo would stuck in. He's like, hey, there's Goblin.
Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong.
You
Goblin
can't.
comes in, you know when it's Goblin too.
Yes, you do. You always do.
Because they got that the keyboard, the high pitched, and then Keith Emerson's the fast playing. So
yep. So like I'm saying, this is anytime I'm like, oh, who is this? Is this Howard Shore doing the Fly soundtrack? Oh, I know who I can call. I can call Alex. So it works out just fine. And we both love Italian horror movies, especially. And the best thing about Italian horror movies is they don't have to make any sense. And in my opinion, horror movies are supposed to be like Bad Dreams. Horror movies are supposed to be like, hey, I got an idea. You know, we just killed all these people because they were practicing witchcraft, so we're going to slaughter them all. Then we're going to build a church on top of their bodies. Anybody who's seen any goddamn horror movie where they build stuff on top of the bodies, starting with Poltergeist, you know, when it's, they moved the headstones, but they didn't move the bodies. You didn't move the bodies, did you, you son of a bitch? You know that something bad's going to happen. Somehow the lock or the stone or whatever is sitting on top of them is going to break off. Somebody's actually going to accidentally bleed on top of the bodies, and the dead is going to rise, and there's going to be demons everywhere. And that's what happens in this one.
Always happens. Every time.
It's nonstop. You just know it's going to happen. And then what? And then you have to have a bunch of people trapped in this place for no reason. And it has to be a bunch of different people. It can't just be like regular churchgoers. Oh, there's a wedding going outside. Somehow they get trapped in. Oh, we got a bunch of kids on a field trip that happen to be coming in on this day of this wedding, because you know that's what usually happens. Hey, let's bring a bunch of kids into this demon-infested church. And then we got like the couple that are lovers that just like sneak into the church. You got like the priest's daughter, the whole bit. You got to have the old creepy priest that's in this. You know, every cliche that you can think of in Italian movies is in this thing. But the important stuff about that is who produced this movie.
Dario Argento.
Awesome. Exactly.
He's awesome. And I did not know that when watching this, because this is the first time I saw it, surprisingly, did not know that it was going to be that much like his movies. I thought, produced, maybe it'll be good, but it was awesome. Just like his movies. And it was written by him too, and you could tell by the dialogue that makes no sense, and it's very stilted dialogue, and the dubbing and stuff is terrible. So Alex called it the Dario movie that he never made, so he was going to buy this and stick it with his other Dario movies because it was close enough. If you've seen this movie, it's just set piece, gory set piece, gory set piece, demon having sex with a virgin, more gory set pieces, wedding chick getting her face ripped off, everything that you want in an Italian horror movie. Bad dialogue, bad acting, great effects, and that Dario sense of surrealism that just oozes through every movie. And it's by the same guy that directed Della Morte, Della More, so you know it's awesome.